The Intel Extreme Masters Toronto is already absolutely stacked with champion upon champion. And now in the most stacked qualifier that we've ever seen in the Intel Extreme Masters, we're going to be opening up with an absolutely amazing game. And it's going to be good.
Yeah, we have 3 world champions who are qualified already to play at the Intel Extreme Masters over different years. Overall, 6 Intel Extreme Masters champions will be playing in Toronto. And then, as you mentioned, we have one of the most stacked tournaments to date. I don't think we've seen a tournament this stacked. And as you did mention, our first game of the evening is going to be Flash versus Zest. Of course, the most 2 recent Pro League winners. 2 players, 2 teammates going head-to-head here to decide who gets to one step closer in this tournament to find out who will be the first player to qualify through this 16-player double elimination tournament. Only 2 tickets to the Intel Extreme Masters Toronto are available.
Yeah, we've already had 2 rounds throughout this qualifier. We are starting in the winners' semis, and we can actually take a look at the bracket to see how things have shaped up thus far.
Yeah, as you can see, we have not quite got the second game ready for you, but the way that we're going to be bringing you the games in today's broadcast, we'll be starting in the semifinals as we have Flash versus Zest, the 2 KT boys going head-to-head here for that winners finals. And then we'll be going to the top semi-final where we already have a previous double Intel Extreme Masters champion in Hero who will be playing up there in that semi-final and be playing against the winner of Revival and Pig Baby, the most recent WCS America champion. And then we'll find out who will qualify in first place. One of those players will be the first place finisher in this qualifier, and then we'll drop down to the lower rounds. As you can see, players like Jadong are down there. Life and TY are currently 1 apiece against each other. We'll have a second place player from all those down there to find out who will qualify in second.
Yeah, so already a very, very cool lineup of players, that's for sure. Guaranteed at least 5 series or 6, depending on how things go in that lower bracket. But we open things up with Flash versus Zest. Give us a little rundown.
Well, of course, I don't think anybody really needs a proper introduction to Flash. He's a Brood War legend. He's struggled in StarCraft 2, of course, by not being able to get the results that all his fans wish to see him provide. But in recent times, he's slowly getting better. He's been very stubborn with his playstyle. He will love to play mech, and that's his favorite playstyle overall. He's been trying to throw that into his game. He's been mixing it up a little bit more. But in the most recent couple of months, or maybe even sooner than that, he's actually been getting wins under his belt. He pulled off that massive win at the Pro League Finals just a week ago, or this past weekend, against Parting, which was a massive game for him. He got MVP of the Pro League Finals as well that day, and he's just been getting better and better. He played through the Korean qualifier, managing to get himself into today's qualifier and beat Maru, who of course is known as the best Terran in the world in the final there. So he was able to beat him 2-1 and lands himself here in today's qualifier. But he goes up against a massive favorite of mine, Zest. Zest is, you know, the best Protoss, or top 3 best Protoss in the world. He's solid. He doesn't really make mistakes very often. But one thing we can look at Zest, he did play at the Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen tournament just a month or so ago. And everybody was like, all right, this is Zest. This is Zest's tournament. This is where he's going to rock it, and he's probably going to win it. But he choked. He failed.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't quite deliver what we're used to seeing. He lost versus Tasia quite convincingly as we got deeper and deeper into the tournament. But here he is again in another qualifier, which kind of Zest and a couple of other players have made their name here at the Intel Extreme Masters. And will he be able to go through against his teammate here to get a chance to go to Canada?
Yep. So, big clash of the Titans here, really, as we're going to be getting going in just a second. The players look ready to go. So merry-go-round is actually going to be our first map in this best of 3. And this could technically go either way. This really could go either way. The way we've been seeing Flash play recently, and as you mentioned before, the way in which Tasia was able to dispatch of Zest at the previous Intel Extreme Masters, there's no reason Flash couldn't take this, but likewise, Zest is Zest. You can't really doubt him either.
For me, Zest is slightly still a favorite here, but Flash has all the momentum behind him right now. He's getting the wins, he's getting the results, and that's going to put a bit of fear into Zest when he approaches this guy. Remember, they're sitting quite close to each other. They're within the KT roster team house, and of course, they know that Flash is getting better and stronger as every day passes, and some people are expecting the coming of this god to take his throne once again in the StarCraft 2 realm, and it's very possible with the way that he's gaining momentum, but we'll see if he can qualify for Canada. And what a player to join the ranks of 3 Intel Extreme Masters World Champions, 6 overall champions in Canada to have Flash play along them as well.
All right, well, let's get into it. Game number 1 now for this qualifier, in the winners semis, I should say, in this best of 3, as we have spawning up to the top right-hand corner our teal Protoss representing KT Rolster. It is Zest. And up the top left-hand corner, we have our blue Terran, also representing KT Rolster. It is Flash.
2 boys who just come off a massive, massive victory in the Pro League Finals. We saw Flash win his game against Parting. Zest unfortunately lost versus Rain. But more importantly of all of this, do you remember if they've ever played before?
Flash and Zest?
Yeah. I remember specifically when they played. They played once before, only once in their entire StarCraft 2 history.
Oh, you're testing me.
Obviously, they are teammates. They're not going to meet in Pro League.
I'm trying to think, was it in one of these qualifiers?
Yes, you're right. It was in one of the qualifiers, and it was a qualifier for the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship earlier this year. They played on the road to Katowice. Zest made it to the finals, where he lost versus Rogue, who was that underdog that came into the World Championship. In the semi-finals, though, before Zest played against Rogue, he played against Flash. And he won 2-0 quite convincingly at that time, because that's when Zest was on top of the world and Flash was trying to find his place in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, and he's certainly found that now, that's for sure. As you said before, with that Pro League win, it kind of just solidifies his position. He even got MVP during the Pro League final. So Flash is certainly on the resurgence, that's for sure. For now, though, looks like he's just going to be opening with the gas opener against Zest.
Yeah, the way that Flash is going to play this game out is, it's quite easy to know how Flash likes to play and his play style. It's solid, no mistakes, and he will overrun you with units. There's no cute tricks that Flash uses very often. There's nothing cool or fancy about his play. He just doesn't make mistakes. And in StarCraft, this is one of the most solid and one of the hardest styles to beat. Because if you can't trick this guy, if you can't all-in this guy, you're going to have to be able to play on the same level that he plays at.
Yeah.
And not many people can do that.
Zest is one of them, though. Zest is one of them in terms of what we've seen him prove himself do. For a long time, his PVT looked absolutely fantastic as well. So he's going back home, and he's going to be grabbing himself an expansion pretty fast. He likewise, you know, he's anticipating that kind of solid style that you were mentioning of Flash. So he has to get his Nexus going as quickly as possible behind this.
The funny thing is, this will probably play out as much of a training match as we could imagine it to be.
Yeah.
Because they probably train against each other in terms of, all right, you try this strategy, you try beat me. Oh, wait, that's how to defend it. And vice versa. They'll trade these kind of training tips throughout their practice games. So this series will probably be a really long, drawn-out, exciting, macro long game.
And Zest now is going to ferry this Reaper away. Needs to make sure he doesn't lose any probes to that, but with the Mothership Core, it should be fine. Flash, likewise, on the other side, has his expansion on the way. And 2 extra barracks being added on for Flash, so a pretty standard setup from him so far.
Yeah, very standard game from both sides. There's only one bit of information that's missing from Zest, is he doesn't know about the extra barracks or factory play. Both sides can be very solid to use, but as you can see through Zest's vision, he doesn't know if it is a factory, so he doesn't know if he needs to prepare to have detection.
Yeah.
But they do know each other, which may hint him towards what he's chosen here. He's gone for the Twilight Council pretty fast here after expanding, and most likely we're going to be seeing some form of blink play. There is the off chance of DTs, but this Reaper is trying to get to it, and is he going to spot it? This is huge if he does.
Yeah, there's no wall behind these mineral lines, so he does spot it. Oh, wow.
Flash, just like against Parting in the Pro League final, is able to get that Reaper in, sees what he's playing against, and right now, this is everything for the way that Flash plays in so solid and macro straight-up games. As long as he knows what you're doing, he's great. He's going to move out with a couple on Marines, most likely hunt down any forward pylons, any loose units. We'll see a bunker come down. His Marauder production's good in case there are Stalkers to be used here, which is most likely going to be the case. I don't expect Zest to be able to pull off anything with this.
No, indeed. I mean, Flash, the way in which that building was positioned is so that Zest could kind of get the surprise on Flash. But Flash scouting out so intensely with that Reaper. Of course, it died, but sacrifice was not in vain. So really well played by our Terran.
Yeah, and look at that. Flash delayed the bunker to the last possible second there. Didn't rush down as soon as he saw the Twilight Council. Bought himself a bit of extra time, saved a bit of money, and then put it down later. And that's going to be a little bit better for his economy, all these small things. The Mothership Core did go in, did see the barracks. And Zest has got to start thinking about plan B here. He's not going to get any damage done in this game. This this won't work out. He's got 3 gateways, but there's no robotics facility, which is the key structure, which has just come down now, because this is your Colossus.
Yeah.
This is your ultimate defense against a potential push come the 10-minute mark here from Flash when he moves out with his unit stim combat shields.
Yeah, and with that factory now on the way, he can eventually rocket up to that starport and start putting on a little bit of pressure at himself if he wants to, which right now, Zest only really has the blink as a defense, right? So he
Flash
needs
is
that
already
extra
coming.
tech.
Look at this. He's moving out now, and this is a little bit earlier than expected, and I don't think Zest has seen it yet. He may poke up the ramp. He saw the units move down, but they're usually to clean up the units or to clear them out. This is going to come to a big surprise. He's got no idea.
No, he doesn't. Not at all.
These units will have stim. He could just gun down the Nexus, and it's almost game over, just like that.
These Stalkers need to realize that there's not really a whole lot at the top of the ramp. It's like, why are there only 4 Marines in here with the bunker? Where is everything else? A few SCVs are going to come up here to try and repair.
He's got... Oh, man.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's going to lose all these sentries if he's not careful. Okay, so he force fields them off.
Oh, smart little man. He's going to move outside the photon overcharge.
And he chased away the sentries in such a way that he wasn't able to force field anything on the ramp.
Control pylon!
Oh, no. He actually has no more reinforcements to be able to hold on against this. This is catastrophic here for Zest.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage. Flash is losing a lot, though. Photon overcharge gone down twice on both Nexus, though. 6 probes. I think that was well dealt with. 7 probes, 8 probes.
Yeah. I mean, considering the position he was in, it was well dealt with, right? I mean, there could have been more happening there, but in the end, Zest holds on. Unit counts as 43 workers to 39. It's technically in favor of Zest, so Zest didn't do too bad during all of that.
Yeah, he did with that well. You know, Flash tried well, but was deflected quite nicely there by Zest, who's... One thing to note, through all of this, obviously having to build units, he hasn't been able to get down the robotics bay, which is still a problem in this game. Obviously, Colossus is a little bit better than having just simple gateway units and Immortals out here, but Flash did take a big hit to his army.
Yeah, losing a lot, you're right. And he's going to push forwards once again here with a smaller little chunk of force, but I don't really think it's going to be able to do a whole lot. Zest is technically actually moving out with a probe to try and do some scouting or even eventually put down a pylon, because right now there's no robo bay, as you mentioned. There's no hint of a third. Everything is going to be quite delayed in comparison to Flash's back home. Is Zest just going to go with this?
Well, Flash has got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose units here.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, like you said, if Zest does go with an attack like this, if he's able to clean up a lot of Flash's units on the other side of the map and then launch a counter-attack, sure, this could work well for him. And as you can see, Flash is reading into this. He's like, that's a lot of units. That's, you know, Immortals and no Colossus here. 6 additional Stalkers from the north here. He's going to go for this, and there's a good opportunity to do well. Yeah,
catching Medivacs is a big blow to Flash here.
He needs these bunkers to finish, and he needs SCVs there to help.
And he sees with the Observer now how much and how far these bunkers are along.
Yeah, good scan. Flash knows what's coming, but can he stop it is the problem.
Yeah, he's going to repair this first bunker very, very avidly with a lot of SCVs. There's only 1 Immortal with this army, so it's not going to bring down that bunker too fast, but the second one's going to be rendezvousing in just a second.
Flash is going to have +1 soon, remember. 3 bunkers completed.
He sees
out the command center. Yeah, all he's got to do is defend. Defend this, then he'll be able to have enough of an army to just win the game, probably, or at least move over and do massive damage if there isn't a transition made here from Zest.
Yeah, because as this keeps going, this army still doesn't have big splash damage, right, to really do anything against it.
If you think both players have completed an attack upgrade here, but who's the one behind a bunker?
Yeah, plenty more bunkers where that came from, apparently. All right, so he catches a few units here and there. Zest picking away.
Zest allows Flash to just be as he is, the bigger Flash's army gets, and the better it becomes against what Zest has too. Even though Zest has more, he doesn't have splash damage. He doesn't have anything to deal with mass amounts of these units.
Yeah, and the only slight disadvantage for Flash is that his SCVs technically, yes, need to be mining, so he needs to pull those away, but he needs vision of when this army is going to be coming up straight away. So... Oh, but actually, that being said, he was dropping a Marine up to the north with that medevac actually to try and scout out.
Yeah, looking for a third. He's going to stim to the other one. He scans probably somewhere in natural, maybe, or third. Oh, yeah. So he's looking. He sees the probe there, which means and shows us that it should be and is probably going to be that Nexus.
Where's that other scan? Down here. He's trying to scan out for hidden bases.
He's like, this guy's really on 2 bases. This is really good news for me.
Yeah, he knows he's doing well.
Another one.
Another scan. Where is it?
Outside his main.
Oh,
outside
okay,
his central. Seeing the army. He'll move out shortly, and he's got a beefy army. Until Storm completes, Flash is definitely going to look to take a fight.
Yeah.
And he'll probably win it too.
There's so much healing power behind all of those medevacs against still no splash damage, as you mentioned before.
2 High Templar, which means when Storm does complete, it'll probably only have 2 Storms anyway. If he evades the storms, that's another potential. But look at this. Holy crap, that's a lot of Zest army, actually.
Yeah, that is a lot of Stalkers. 3 Immortals behind this with a lot of power. The force fields are actually really, really good, cutting up some of that army, catching a lot of it, and really negating the damage. That was really well played by Zest.
I was expecting Flash just to move down and crush through that, but that's a lot. I don't even know how Zest had that army. I never saw that army that big.
So strong.
Yeah, I didn't even see it being that size.
And he was chrono boosting Storm behind this as well. The Storms haven't come into play just yet,
Whoa.
but that was really well played by
Flash
Zest.
was like, all right, it's time to go, I guess.
And then he walked into a concave
like,
of death.
Wait a minute.
That was scary. All right, so Zest now kind of puts the fear of God into Flash.
He goes back to his bunkers now, so he's safe there, but he wanted to break out, and if he doesn't break out soon, can Zest break this? I don't think he should be able to with bunkers repaired, no?
Oh, he's going to try. These 3 Immortals, if they get on top of bunkers, they're going to rip them down very, very quickly. Also, I mean, there's not much bio left at all. A Storm lands on the SCVs as well. Zest in game number 1. He's been on 2 base for so long.
Yeah, I guess he is going to break Flash here.
Wow. GG.
Wow. Solid play from Zest there. Very good play.
Yeah.
Very good play. Flash is... I hate Protoss so much.
I mean, on a map like Merry-Go-Round, that's kind of to be expected. A lot of Protoss do not like taking a third on that map, right? But the way he played it, putting on that pressure, and kind of slowly getting a third behind that as well, Flash had no opportunity to really move out.
Yeah, it's the small things like he defended my attack with 2 photon overcharge.
Yeah.
He was outside my base forever, and I couldn't kill him. What did I do wrong here? But I think the Flash would probably just say that he didn't quite read into the game as well in the earlier mid stages, that this was the way that Zest was going to play. But it is Zest who, takes map number 1, and Flash now has to work for it.
And as quick as that ends, we're getting into game number 2. It's going to be on Foxtrot Labs. All our lovely new maps here for the ladder season. Yeah, I suppose they're not that new anymore, right? In like a month or 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're always quite interesting, the new maps, just in general. And Zest taking a 1-0 lead over Flash. What can Flash do here?
And I think, it doesn't matter how big of a fan favorite plays against Flash. Flash is always still the man. Everybody wants to see Flash win. Everybody wants to see him compete at a big international tournament. And this could be his run. But there's a lot of high caliber, best quality players in the world here to go up against.
All right, let's jump into game number 2 as we have, spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner, Teal Protoss. Currently 1 game up. It is Zest. And up to the top left-hand corner, we have our blue Terran. Also representing KT Rolster, it's Flash. Okay, so... No, but you're right about what you said with the caliber of players here. We always have really, really strong showings in the Asian qualifiers to the point where you almost crown champions through this qualifier alone for the main tournament.
Well, that's the thing about the Interstream Masters, Asian qualifiers, is that people make their names here.
Yeah, they do.
Myung-Sik, Zest to a certain degree was playing here ages ago. Like he was playing here a year ago in these qualifiers before he really got to the player that he is today, the status that he has in the community. But there's not that many people that are rising through the qualifiers right now because StarCraft is at a stage where these guys are so good they're not beaten by somebody that you don't know very often.
Yeah, that's certainly true. Well, Zest now with that 1-0 lead, really kind of bringing it to Flash. Flash is going to open up the same way again by the looks of things, which, is fine, is normal here. And Zest taking the double gases pretty fast to start things off.
Yeah, taking double gases straight away usually is a sign. It doesn't necessarily mean it, but it's a sign of potential aggression from Zest here. This could be for a pretty fast Stargate in Oracle, which is quite common in the Korean scene. In the Korean meta right now, Stargate Oracle play. Obviously, Oracles are going to destroy SCV lines, and then Phoenix play to follow it up and back it up is very strong, and it's very common right now, especially inside the KT house. Myung-Sik has been a big fan of this for a long time, and if this has started to become more common in the Korean scene, obviously Zest being on his team, well, we may see this, but it's up to Flash to figure out. That's the most important part is Terran in every matchup. Find out what he's doing if you can. Well, it's the most important part in StarCraft overall. If you know what's coming your way, you have time to defend, and you have time to react. But if you don't see it coming, then obviously you're going to get blindsided.
Yeah, and he actually didn't go down there to see the gases being mined, so he needs to go back up eventually. This probe down at the natural was kind of juking him out a little bit, making it look like he was going for an earlier nexus than was originally planned. So Flash has decided to block it instead of getting the gas information.
Well, hopefully...
I guess the Reaper would get it though, right?
Reaper is going to come in from the back here, so he gets the kind of best of both worlds.
Yeah.
But that pylon, does it block it, right?
I think you can jump up there.
Yeah, it's a pylon and structure. Okay. So maybe later it will be blocked.
Just gives him information that it's coming a little bit earlier, I guess. And he does see the gases now.
Yeah, so sees double gases early, and both probes, or both sets of probes, 3 probes in each assimilator, really, he's like, huh. But Flash has gone back to an older build of his here, which is actually Engineering Bay first. Inside his main before any additional barracks. It's something he's used quite a lot. He gets a very fast +1 attack to upgrade his units, but he also has turrets early. If there's going to be an Oracle play, which could be in this game through the double gas as mentioned, he can get turrets down. If there's going to be DT play, he can get turrets down. So he'll want to get that Reaper in again. He needs to know the follow-up. But it is a bit of a hashtag mind game, as we like to call it, because it is just a robotics facility. So it's exactly the same as the previous game, but with double gas, which will trick Flash. And right now, Flash is thinking of all the different possibilities that could come. He needs to get in there. He needs to spot this. And then he'll be feeling a lot more comfortable with his position. Yeah, I mean, judging with how prevalent the Stargate openings have been in the past couple of groups in the GSL, for example, he may think that that is something that is likely here. So, you know, the Engineering Bay player that you were mentioning before could be one of the reasons for that, since he does practice in that house. But for now, he's not going to be facing that just yet. So he certainly has to kind of figure out this puzzle, as it were, because he doesn't have all the pieces just yet. Nope, he's still a little bit in the dark. For the time being. Marines going back to the mineral line, expecting a potential Oracle. That's why they're there, not at the front. As is mentioned, still in the dark. And there's an Immortal. This is weird. No, Zest. So the 2 choices he gets to build from that robotics facility, observers to go find and scout, or an Immortal, which is expensive. 250 minerals, 100 gas. That's really expensive for this early in a game. And if you're dedicating resources to this, you're going to be aggressive. He's going to probably get another Immortal, and he's going to get a couple of extra gateways, and he will move out. This is going to be a big push coming out from Zest. Flash still without any information. 2 sentries on the left going to block the Reaper from getting in. He's obviously got the Photon Overcharged Mothership Core Stalker here at the front to block the Reaper at the front. Flash is going to have to scan inside the main. He'll try the back door maybe, but he's going to have to scan. Yeah. But what does he see? Yeah, this is going to be difficult for him to really piece together, especially the extra gateways. With the positioning of the pylon and the way these are spread. Do you really drop a scan in this area to actually spot this? It can be a bit difficult. If he goes up there and sees the 2 sentries... He's going to go up there, he'll get blocked by the sentries, and he's going to be like, what are you doing? Oh my god, what are you doing? All right, he sees 2 sentries. And now scan must come in. Does he have energy? He's got no idea. He doesn't have energy on this one, nor on this one. He just dropped mules. Okay, so the way that Flash is playing this, instead of scanning to see what could come, he's saying, I'll take the extra money, but with that extra money, I will have a second bunker, and I'm going to have units kind of in a defensive stance everywhere. He's got an extra Marine for extra vision range. He's praying to God right now that he isn't going to be attacked, but he is going to be attacked. And through not seeing this coming, he does not have a 3rd bunker. SCV's in position. He sees the Immortals. Has to pull, has to pull. This is going to be hitting really, really hard. But he actually doesn't have that many Zealots with this army right now, so tanking potentially is going to be a little bit limited. He needs to wait for another warp in, I would say, at least. Oh, he does bring some more of these units from the front, though. Force Field's going to be absolutely key to block off all of this. Yeah, SCVs need to get at the front here. If they're at the back, they'll be cut off. Here comes the Guardian Shield trying to block this off. Time Warp with the Force Fields as well. First bunker's going to end up falling. A lot of Marines on this left-hand side dishing out some good damage. Why is he not using Stim? Yeah, I'm not sure. Stim is very late here. I don't know why he's not using it. And with this bunker dying, if he gets 1 Immortal, that's okay, but he gets some other ship core. It's very, very close to dying, and actually focusing that down during all of this. There's still a lot of firepower with that 1 Immortal. He's got another bunker to fall back to, but he's lost all those SCVs, which is, no repairing here. Yeah, that's the Immortal still lives. The shields are regenerating on the Mothership Core in the sky here, and that's always a pain to deal with. And Flash, who did not spot this attack coming, could be saying goodbye to the winner bracket and hello to the lower bracket. Zest doing so much damage, and Flash really caught off guard, unaware. You were right in his anticipation for something just in case, but it was like half-hearted anticipation for information that he so desperately needed. Yeah, and Zest is going to launch himself at this final bunker. A couple of force fields to prevent the repair. And Flash's last stance is here.
There's just too much. Flash is going to end up losing out on this game. Zest shows why his PvT can be so formidable, so strong, especially if you don't get the information. Stopping this is so hard.
The Immortal, as you can see in the bottom right, 12 kills. Just pop, 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 pop. Marine, 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 SCV, SCV, SCV. It doesn't matter. He keeps on losing units. 39 supply to 71. Flash beaten out by his teammate here.
Yeah, Zest showing he is a monster. And Flash, unfortunately for him, is going to go down to the loser's bracket. He's trying to hold on desperately at this point, but with the bio as low as it is, he is now using Stim to try and kill all the soft, but so much damage has been done that the recovery behind this would be so difficult.
And it is the team captain of KT Rolster, Zest, who carried the flag for the team in the Pro League finals. Looks like he's going to push Flash down to the low bracket here, and unfortunately the dreams and hopes of Flash coming to Canada not going to work here in the winner bracket, but still alive for the lower bracket here. He's trying to hold on with everything he has, but pulling SCVs into this, they get slaughtered, which means there's just simply no income for Flash. He's having to land the command center to try and get some mules and SCVs built, but that Immortal staying true to its name in this game.
Yeah, he's the king.
23 kills.
Done so much damage. And Zest continues his rampage through these qualifiers. We almost never see him really losing in these qualifiers. This is a slow, painful death, and he doesn't even snipe out the Immortal in the end.
Zitklaris, unfortunately for Flash, but Zest, who is definitely one of the best Protoss players out there, is able to knock him out, or down to the lower bracket, should I say, and finds himself now just a single best of 3 away from qualifying to the Intel Extreme Masters. I know a lot of people obviously tuning in to see and cheer Flash on, but it is his captain who keeps him away from that position as Zest. Now we'll be going up against either CJ Hero, a multiple IEM champion, or Revival Pig Baby, which is one game before that, which is being played out currently.
Okay. So that means we may have a little bit of downtime as we wait for the winners' semis to get going. Is it in the middle of that series?
Yeah, so I would estimate the next game to be beginning in roughly 5 to 10 minutes from now.
Okay.
I would say.
All right. Well, guys, stay tuned for the Intel Extreme Masters Toronto Asian Final Qualifier, as we will have some more awesome StarCraft on the way for you very soon.